should be live on there. Yeah, so hello, welcome to the MACKEM CABBIE Premier League show with Richie. I don't know if is Kev coming on late or is he working late? Do you know, Rich? Has he said much?
I have no idea, buddy.
You
I have
know,
no idea. I haven't heard from him all day.
oh, he's probably a busy lad. He does work late and stuff. Welcome to Richie. Are you all right, mate?
I am very well. How are you doing yourself?
Aye, good and doodled, not bad. And we've got our new member of the channel who's joining us. It's Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Stuart. And yourself?
Aye, great. I don't know if you want to. I mean, I have got a bio of you, and I'll be putting that up on the YouTube page at some point. But do you want to give a brief introduction to yourself?
Yeah, quite happy. Originally from born in Blackhall Colliery, in the northeast. Lived in Peterlee and Seaham for a number of years, and then went off on an extended paid holiday with my employer. I'll let Stuart tell you what I do for a living rather than tell you myself, because otherwise Richie might get annoyed at the fact he mentioned a hurricane, and of course men don't like hurricanes. I was a weather forecaster for many years. A lot of the time was on the military side, working various different places in the UK and overseas. But I also worked in civil side as a weather forecaster, doing radio broadcasts, particularly Radio Newcastle. Well, all the northern ones, Newcastle, Cumbria, Leeds, York, and Manchester. I suppose my main claim to fame is, have you ever come across something called Relegation, Stuart? Down near Penrith. It's a cultural centre. Well, when it first opened, there was a movie called Relegation: The Lost Kingdom, and my voice was used for the first 2.5 minutes of the movie, which was me reading a weather forecast out for Radio Cumbria. And that's my claim to fame, I think. So, yeah. So that's me. Big Sunderland fan, obviously.
Nice one. Don't know whether Stu's muted himself.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned John Clapham before. Was he a Sunderland fan, did you say, Rob?
No, John was a Leeds United man. Yeah,
because I like John Clapham. He used to always have a bit of a joke at the end of each weather forecast. And I remember when Sunderland got to the final of the FA Cup final against Liverpool 1992, and John Clapham presented the weather forecast in a red and white bobble hat and a red and white scarf, and all that was quite funny.
Yeah, that there might have been some influence there, because as I said, John's a very good friend of mine. He was my best man, so I've known him for many years.
Did you obviously did you know anybody called Jeff Brown?
Jeff Brown, the name rings a bell.
He was a presenter on Look North for quite a while.
Yes, I know who you mean. I've met him a couple of times for beers when I've been out with John up in the northeast.
He used to just do the sports bulletins, and then he took over. Well, I mean, years ago when I lived at Sunderland, there was a team called Seaburn Athletic. It was just the Sunday League, Saturday League games. And I ended up being their little mascot. I used to watch them every single week and follow them home and away. And Jeff Brown played for them, and he used to take me in his car to all the away games when they played and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just mad when you first realise after all them years, because I was only about like 10, 11-year-old then. I'm like 50 now, and only a couple of years ago you realise, wait a minute, Jeff Brown, you used to play for Seaburn Athletic. It's a small world. Right, we're going to have a bit catch up on the chat, as well as loads of people saying hello. We're also live on TikTok as well, so hello to everybody there as well. Hello to Trisha Winstanley. Trisha Winstanley, he says, welcome to the MACKEM CABBIE channel. I hope everyone's doing okay. There will be lots to talk about in chat, so sit back. Stephen Martin, good to see you. He says, hi guys, how's everybody doing? Susie Forrester, how are you doing? Says, son until I die. David Walker, hi, Cabby, Rich and Rob. Gary Hoyle says, good evening, everyone. Maverick Loggins says, hey guys, getting excited for the season. Well, I think we all are. Bong says, how are? Good to see you, Bong. Hello to David Joblin. Steve Taylor, how are you? Good to see you tonight. Hello to Kingfisher79. He says, hey, Cabby, Rich, Rob and Trisha. Congratulations, of course, on Regis Labrie taking us forward. We'll talk about that tonight. Stephen Martin says, hi, Trisha. Dougie Stewart, the other moderator of the channel, how are you doing? Good to see you. Hi, Cabby, Richie, Trisha and Rob. And hello to Colin Major. This is a really busy Monday night show. I mean, it started off with maybe just 2 or 3 people in the chat. And the lads and lasses are probably sick of me reading the messages out on the chat because there's that many messages come through. There's absolutely loads. So Richie, we'll start with you. What do you think about the news about Regis Labrie then?
Oh, I'm over the moon, like, because weren't we talking about it a couple of weeks ago, last week or something like that, where we said, could you imagine if we have a mid-season in the Premier League and then obviously the bigger teams are going to come in and tout them? I think it's just showing commitment from him and showing a reward from the club to him as well. I think genuinely we've got the right man. We've all been frustrated sometimes with his tactical side of things, you know what I mean? The way, sits deep and defensive a lot of the time. But let's be honest, he's always got it right. So for me, I think we've got a really good manager there and a manager that understands the club now, understands what the team wants, and obviously, the backroom staff. But he's got a good bond with the players as well. The players seem to trust him a lot as well. So I think it's just fantastic that he's put another 3 years to paper for me.
Yeah, it shows your intent, doesn't it? What about you, Rob? Are you pleased with that news?
Over the moon. Yeah, I mean, I know he was an unknown when he joined Sunderland, but if you do a bit of reading on Regis Labrie, he's always been very keen on bringing young players through. And the way Sunderland's recruitment strategy, we just seem to recruit young players, and it makes sense, And Labrie seems to have the knack of getting the young players to work together and play together. And as we saw on Saturday, the youngsters, led by an old head, of course, with Mr. Zaha, were. They weren't bad on Saturday. They were unlucky to lose, I think. So yeah, good result, I think, for Sunderland is getting them on a 3-year contract.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, yes, I mean there's always that risk, isn't there, if Sunderland have a season which everybody's expecting to, 2 points, 3 points all season, bottom of the league. I just hope the fans didn't turn on him because I think he's a breath of fresh air. Our manager, I just think he's quality and I think it's right across the board as well. It's not just Regis Labrie. It's the whole shabam from top to bottom. You on about the match against the Real Betis, and everybody's forgetting as well, we've got a perfectly good goal disallowed.
Yep.
According to a lot of people. It didn't show you the replay because it was just a friendly. But I thought Sunderland made themselves a good account of themselves on that friendly game. Do you think? Do you both think Sunderland played all right that game? First half, maybe it's not so. Second half, I thought they came into it a bit more, especially Adingra. I think as he got a bit more confidence in the second half, did you notice he started running at the players, running at the defence a bit more, taking a few of them on, causing them some problems?
I think Talby also did the same. He started to. He looked nervous in his first couple of games, but he seemed to have started to throw that off a little bit on Saturday, and he was putting some good moves together.
Yeah, he was. Like I was watching, particularly on the first half, it was just where I was sitting. I was watching the Dringer. I think it was about three times I watched him, and he hesitated to take his man on that side. And I thought, he's got to have that bit more confidence because he's got the skill to do it. You know what I mean? He just needs that, understand his position within Sunderland just to boost himself. You know what I mean? And get the players to learn how to supply him. It's the same with Talby, like you've just said, Rob. I think Talby had a much better game on Saturday. He was cutting in a lot more from the left, and he had a decent. I think he had a decent couple of shots. And again, it's the same thing with Talby. I think it's just going to be confidence. These are new players to the club. We've brought a lot of new players in. It's obviously going to take time to gel. We all know that. But I think some of the signs are definitely there that we've actually got some quality players through the door for a change. But we need to start taking these chances. There was plenty of chances supplied from my ender on Saturday, and we didn't take them. And I totally agree with you. I think at least we should have come out with a draw against Betis. It was just we couldn't put the chances away.
Yeah, and let's be realistic. Real Betis are not a bad bloody team. At the end of the day, I think they finished 6th in La Liga.
Well, without, I mean, apart from no disrespect to South Shields, but we've played some quality opposition. It's simple as that. You can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I will say another thing.
Carry on, Rich.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, carry on.
I will say another thing. I was really, really impressed with Jata. What stood out for me for Jata is he was like I said in my vlog I did, he was very vocal on that pitch. I could hear him from where I was sitting. He was just shouting and bawling all game. He was giving instructions to players like to move up a bit or to sit back, or he sort of like took command. And that's what we've been missing for a long time is a big, a mouth in midfield or wherever the play, just to command the team, because there's a lot of youngsters on our team who are going to look to somebody. And I think Granit Xhaka is the perfect man from what I've seen on Saturday from him. Like it was brilliant just to see.
Yeah, he's a leader, and it's maybe you never seem to see it much from Dan Neil.
No,
the talking to the rest of the team, whereas on Saturday, Xhaka was giving it some, shall we say?
I was impressed with, and it just shows you how far experienced goes, was the fact it felt as if he'd been playing for the club for 10 years. It just seemed to fit in, and straight away he was showing authority. His presence on that pitch was massive, and he just settled. It's almost like he wasn't a new player. He's just a big bloke, and he got the ball. He was very, very rare. He got knocked off the ball. His touches were classy. Give a few fouls away, but how? It's physical. What do you expect? And he does what he does best as well. He lays off some great balls for the players and stuff. And that's exactly what Sunderland need. And I believe what Sunderland must do, they must get that type of calibre and experience as a striker, and they need to get the same calibre and experience as a defender as well, because I think Sunderland will struggle if they didn't get an experienced defender. It's a gamble taking a risk on this young kid, Gui, I think, from Chelsea. He's just a kid, isn't he? Mienda, I think it's too much on his bit pressure on the lad. To just expect everything to come from him. We must get that experienced striker up top. What do you guys think about that? Do you think we'll struggle if we keep it as it is for forward lines?
We've lacked a striker since Stuart left. Basically, we've lacked a goal, an out-and-out goal scorer, goal poacher. Yes, we could do with some. I mean, is it Gui or
Gui? I think we call him Gui.
He's actually very well thought of at Chelsea and all that, and I think he did quite well in the Club World Cup. I think he set up and scored a couple. So, but as you say, he's only a bairn. He's only 19, I think, something like that. Perhaps he'll be okay, but if you want a 20 goal a year striker, it's going to cost more than we can afford to spend. Basically, you're looking at 100 million quid on a player.
Absolutely. I just got to say on TikTok as well. Lone Wolf, thanks for the rose there. He says, "Hi there. I'm a Newcastle United fan. Wishing you the very best for next season. Respect, same to you, mate. Same to you. I like the banter, but at the end of the day, the Premier League needs these big clubs in." He says it's also great to have you back in the Premier League. He says, "Is it okay to come into chat?" Of course it is. Ashton Tyers says he can't hear Rob really clear on TikTok, but he's fine on YouTube. All right. Well, I don't know. It must just be. Let's just have a look at the TikTok setting. No, it should be fine. We'll have a look at that. But I think all sound settings is all right, as long as you can hear him anyway. That's my son Ashton Tyers in the chat. But yeah, it's. Are you the same on that, Richie? About it's massively important we get that recognised striker in, and yes, it's the striker's the main thing, isn't it? That's where the money comes in. If you want a good striker, you have to fork out, don't you? Without a doubt. And somebody says Sunderland have only got 40 million left in their budget to spend, and they can't go any more over than that. I don't know whether that's true or not, but
probably makes sense, like with the amount we've already spent, like. But I've just got a biased opinion. I've always admired target forwards, big lads in the box. I've always liked strikers, like Lukaku and Edin Dzeko, and like we faced Kiefer Moore as well against Sheffield United. That's my preference. I do like the big lad sort of striker, and I know it's a bit old school, but I think certainly with the wingers that we've got in the style that we can play, and obviously Xhaka as well, with his passing and his long passing as well, that we can pull off. I think we would suit the big lad in the box, just to sort of like bully the defence a bit, bring other players into play. Because we can only supply Mayenda and Wilson Isidore one way, and that is with through balls or balls that they can run onto. We don't really get anywhere with crosses, set pieces, or anything like that. They tend not to score from them. Mayenda, for me, he's obviously the first choice at the minute, and I would like to see him have a go, but I just don't think he's quite at Premier League level, and that goes the same for Wilson Isidore. Wilson Isidore last season had a massive dip in form after Christmas, if we can all remember. It was just relentless. How many games did he go without scoring? And that's in the Championship. So if we're going to be relying on him in the Premiership, there's got to be serious questions asked, you know what I mean? But we definitely need somebody else to come in because, like I say, we need to supply in different ways. We've got the players to do it. So hopefully.
Absolutely, Rich. Well said. Yeah, the derbies will be great again, says Lone Wolf in TikTok in December and March. I mean, I know it's a lot of the Newcastle fans and I can't wait till Sunderland goes down and all that. But as a neutral and for the Premier League, it's better for the Premier League, Sunderland and Newcastle in there on the derby days, because I tell you what, I would say Sunderland and Newcastle is the most fiery derby in the Premier League. I watched the Liverpool, Everton, Liverpool, Man United. It doesn't seem to have the flair, does it, of what Sunderland and Newcastle does. It's a bit like the Celtic Rangers, but in the England version when Sunderland and Newcastle square up. It's on fire, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a religion thing, Stuart. It's a religion thing.
It is, it certainly is that as well. Just going to catch up on the chat as well. There's that many messages flying in. Hello to the 59 people as well watching and on TikTok. Thanks for the gifts as well, Lorne. Where are we? Hit that like button if you can. It helps the algorithms to let people know we are live. Right, there's that many messages. I am absolutely cross-eyed here. Steve Taylor says, "Hi guys, I watched West Ham United against Bournemouth yesterday." He says, "Wasn't impressed with West Ham. They should have been 3-0 down in the first half. Bournemouth were really unlucky and there'll be tough opposition this year." I think he's on about the friendlies that's in America at the minute. This
summer series.
The summer series. Yep. Did you see the
Man United?
What was the Man United score, Rich?
No, I was going to say Man United won the competition.
Oh, did they?
But I'm sure they drew where Everton did the 2-2, or did they win a 3-2? I can't remember.
I didn't see it. I had like
Aye.
I had like Bead. I noticed the awful special effect crowd dubbing from where I was doing the broadcast, and it was, oh my god, what were they doing?
Yeah.
The American commentators are just ridiculous, man. I had to turn the commentary off.
I remember when
It
Sunderland
was just the way he was describing it.
played the friendlies in America, and it was like, and Sunderland are on the offense, and this and that. The other was like,
Aye.
it just couldn't. I don't know. It's just so weird. And Sunderland score a field goal. The lead by 1 goal to 0.
Yeah, they can't seem to get their heads around the fact that it's football, not soccer.
Aye. But,
Oh,
And
wait a minute.
their football's just rugby for girls.
I've just Kev's just asked us. He's trying to join. I've just sent you a link again there. I've just sent you a link there, Kev. So hopefully he should join us. Like I say, I'm just going bong-eyed at the minute. I'm trying to keep up with everything, but why not? It's all good. I'll keep an eye out for you, Kev, coming in. I'm just going to read up on some of the more messages as well. I'll get to the TikTok messages also. Stephen says I'm the same as you, Cabby. Tony Hunting says we can't have any more AFCON players. Whoever comes would be too much of a risk. There's a lot of Sunderland fans say that. Gary Hoyle says we have to be patient with these players gelling together. He says new environment, new management, tactics and systems. It doesn't happen overnight, and they are still getting minutes into the legs. I mean, that's why possibly I think maybe the fans are being a bit harsh on maybe Talby. I mean, yeah, he's not been sort of the best, but we just need to give them that time to gel. Just going to catch up on some messages on TikTok as well. Lone Wolf says, what striker would you like to sign? For us, we're really struggling at the moment. Jamie Vardy has been mentioned quite a few times on the list. Mixture. I think Richie seems to think he's a bit past it, don't you, Rich?
Nah, he's not for me, Jamie. I don't like him in any way. Like, I just cannot stand him. But I admire what he's done, right? Obviously, I do, and he has been a heck of a striker. Played for England, obviously won the league with Leicester, but I think he's done now. I think Championship is best for him. It's the same with like Callum Wilson and players like that. I know Callum Wilson's just signed for somebody in the Premier League. I can't remember who it is, and I was quite surprised at that. West Ham, there we go. Thanks, matey. But not for me, not for Jamie. I think we can get somebody better on him.
Hoyland's are apparently available for 30 million.
30 million.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
I'm just checking to see if Richie's joining us. Hold on. Yeah, just chat amongst yourselves. I'm just seeing if Richie's messaging us again, see if he's having any.
I think with Hoyland, I think he'll go abroad if anything, because he obviously came from Italy, didn't he? So he might have ties in Italy still, where he can go back to.
Yeah,
players tend to do that, but say in hindsight, we did, we had a chance to get him. Like, I think Man United might push the money a little bit more, stretch it out, but he'll definitely go abroad. Him, I'd be surprised if he didn't. Like,
interestingly, the Beeb was saying his book value is about 43 mil.
Yeah,
but Man United have said he can leave for 30. So
right,
because they obviously want him off the books because he's just not doing it for them. But how many strikers have gone to Man United and failed? Lots of them.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's not like the Alex Ferguson era when you had like Andy Cole and Dwight York and Ruud van Nistelrooy, Sheringham.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All those unbelievable strikers they've had. But like, since Ferguson's gone, I think Man United, we've all seen it, have gone in a decline. It's a bit sad to see. But maybe, with these two signings that they've made, and maybe if they add a couple more, they might be on the way up. Like, but
yeah, the team that finished fourth fifth in the Premier League a couple of seasons ago, is still basically the team that Man United have got. So
Right, yeah.
the players are good players. They just haven't been playing. Whether it's, if you go back to Sunderland a few years back, where we had players. There appeared to be a big drinking culture within the club, and nobody seemed to be that bothered about whether we won, lost, drew. They were getting paid. They weren't bothered. And I'm just wondering if Man United are in a similar position, and they've got all these big players who think they're bomb-proof. And it's taken somebody like a Morin to come in and say, "No, actually, you're not bomb-proof. If you're not going to train, bog off." So
Yeah.
Just going to get some more messages on TikTok as well. I'm going to need a receptionist. Beans says, any thoughts on Labrie signing a new deal? We mentioned that on the beginning of the show, and we're all chuffed to bits. It shows you, that he wants to be committed with the club. The everything's in the mixing pot, and it's mixing well. It's it's not just the manager, it's the hierarchy, the coach, second in charge. Everything's gelling well, and I think there seems to be a good relationship with the head coach, Regis Labrie, and he seems to get on with the players. The players seem to like him, I mean it's great to see him that he's settling in, and you can't get a better settling in than that, getting you promoted to the Premier League after being away 8 years, isn't it? Ollie says, "Hi guys, this is Everton fan here. Really think you guys are going to do well." He says, "Look decent with the new signings," says Ollie from the Everton fans. And we can't wait to play you a lot at the Bramley Dock Stadium. It's called something else, I know, but we don't play you there till the second last game of the season. So there is a bit of a wait for that. So wouldn't it be great if we secured safety well before then, and we're playing you at the Bramley Dock and we're secured safety? Or we could be wanting to win, getting 3 points to qualify for Champions League. You didn't know, do you?
Not that many years back, Stuart, that we played Everton and Corn scored twice for us to keep us in the Premier League.
Yeah, and I honestly believe on that night, if Sam Allardyce hadn't have gone to England, I don't think the collapse of Sunderland would have started. The big brick of the Jenga block was pulled beneath us when Sam left, because the players had a good rapport with Sam. I don't know if you remember watching that game. Van Aanholt, when he scored that free kick, he ran straight to Big Sam, give him a hug, and that the players loved playing for him. The next season when Moisey came in, they weren't interested. Corney and all him, it was a man mountain. He was dragging his heels to come to the training ground. They just weren't interested, and it was such a shame, especially with Big Sam only lasting one bloody game for England. But yeah, I always say that the problem started from then, which was a great shame, because that was a class night, wasn't it? That was a really. I took my missus out for a meal that night. I think it must have been near a birthday or anything like that. And it's one of my favourite restaurants, and I couldn't enjoy the game. I couldn't enjoy the food. I couldn't eat it. I was too anxious. Honestly, it was just so much at stake, and I just had my phone there with my notifications and stuff, and I just screamed the top of the place down when we went 3-0 up. Everybody gets stared. We're gonna back on the chat with the on our YouTube channel. Hello to the 79, 80 people now watching. They're flooding in here. I'm just having a little check up with with Kev, see where he is at. You should be able to join, Sunshine. Anyway, get back. Christopher Skidmore, Everton looked good last night. Good fighting team. That to the Everton fan. Hollian couldn't hit a barn door, lad, says Gary Hoyle.
Fair point, yeah.
Maureen Johnson says, can I just say how good the stadium is looking? Well, Richie sent me a video, and it really does look smart. inside the stadium. With like they've done a cracking job. And can I tell you how different? And isn't it funny? Just a few red letters, the Jimmy Montgomery stand. How much it's really brought that stand to life just by having a few words across. It's really give that stand a character, hasn't it? It's a meaning. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed when you look at that? It just looks so much better just with a few letters. Class, good touch.
Yeah, it was the first thing I noticed when I went in. I had a look at it straight away. It just looks so much better, like you said. And just when I was in the ground there, Stu, it just, it just seemed, it seemed like it was fresh, and it seemed like, they put in really good work. Like the groundsman, like I was telling you with the pitch was unbelievable. It was the best I've seen in ages. They've obviously done all the painting inside where the bars and you can get your food from. Like I said in my vlog as well, there's a few murals on the wall as well. I never got a chance to go around and have a look at them all, but I'm definitely going to do that on Sunday. It just felt fresh, you know what I mean? But yeah, that stand, looking at it now with a finish like that, it's brilliant. Like, definitely.
Oh, I was impressed with it. Still no sign of Kev. I don't know if he's having a few technicality problems or whatnot. I am not too sure, but he's just got to click the link and he join. I'm sure he can work it out. Wait, where are we? Muniz from Fulham would be a good signing, says Richie Waite. Can't say I've heard of him. John Nesbitt makes a good point. He says, don't forget, he says, we still have loan options and we can get some decent players in that way. And yeah, that is an option. I think is it 4 loan players you can get, and of course you're not dipping into the transfer fund by doing that. But for loan players, would you say you've got more of a chance getting the young'uns coming through than you have getting an experienced player that's maybe he's in his 30s and this and that and that. I mean, I don't know. It's a funny one. Would you like a loany experienced striker, or would you rather have a proper signing coming in?
Difficult to say. The thing is, a lot of the loanees that go out are youngsters, for the simple reason that the established older players get used in their first teams. So particularly if you're looking at filling slots like strikers, goal scorers, they're about as rare as hen's teeth. So finding somebody. I mean, there's a guy at Newcastle that might be available, but I think he might be above our budget a bit. Isaac Block.
Now that would cause hell on, wouldn't it?
There's also been, I noticed in the Sunderland Echo earlier on that there's mention of what was the guy who used to play for Newcastle and Fulham?
Oh, Mitrovic,
yeah.
Good player.
He's been released from his Saudi contract apparently.
Hell of a player.
Yeah. Wants to come back to the UK. So potentially he may be available. Whether he's available at the right price or not, because he's getting on in years these days. I think he's 29, 30-ish.
I think he's a bit older. I thought he was 32, 33, is he? I'm not sure. Like, he'll be the perfect signing for me. He's a bully forward. Like I was saying to you before, I like those types of players, and I've always liked Mitrovic. I read the same thing as you, Rob. I think Leeds are having a look at him as well.
Yeah.
So it might be another one we'll pull away from Leeds again, you know what I mean? But I would take Mitrovic, definitely. 100% I would.
I mean, Garcia's been mentioned again because apparently Real Madrid are hanging on to the other bloke. Can't remember his name. But there's two.
Rodrigo.
No, there's two young lads. There's the one that we've been interested in, which is Gonzalo. Is it Garcia?
Yeah.
And there's the Eckert or something like that. Eckert.
Oh,
Endrick, that was him.
The Brazilian lad.
Apparently, Real Madrid have decided that Endrick will stay at Real Madrid and will play. And Garcia will probably go out on loan. But I noticed there was something in the Spanish press about Getafe are fairly confident that they'll sign him on loan.
Going to say hello to Paul Stratton, Coventry City fan who's a friend of the channel. And he says, hope your pre-season is going as well as you hoped. See more quality signings made. And how are you doing in the transfer window, Paul? Our season, I mean, we've only won one, but I'm not judging anything on results at all. I never do. It's a kickabout in the park. That's all I'm looking at. It's just nice I look at the friendlies to see the new players gel and just get to see the team. And that is it. There's no ifs and buts about it. I mean, there's been a few meltdowns on some of the fans, saying, we're going to get relegated playing like this and all that. But, I mean, look what we did leading up to the playoffs when we lost 5 on the trot. And nobody predicted that, did we? Yeah, Wes Haley says on TikTok says we need 2 centre-backs and we're good to go. And Shawan UK says thoughts on John Custer and Apcom Tuba having Ipswich medicals. Well, not Ipswich fans, mate, but I don't know about that one. I do think Ipswich could be one of the favourites to possibly bounce back up again. It's such a difficult league, that, isn't it?
I think Ipswich will be all right, Stuart. I'm not convinced about Southampton.
You're not convinced about Southampton?
No, I think they might struggle this year.
So then...
They're playing Wrexham. I think they're playing Wrexham next Friday. I'm sure it's the first championship game on Sky, Southampton-Wrexham.
Yeah. I think Wrexham could be dark horses for at least a playoff place.
Oh, God, yeah, they've got a...
It's a big step up for them, but I think there could be dark horses for a playoff place.
Certainly want to watch next season. Well, this season coming up. Definitely keep an eye on them.
Yeah, Solo of TikTok says 1 great centre-back and 1 decent backup centre-back and a proven goal scorer, and we might just survive this season. Look, I mean, I was desperate to get that Jacker over the line because I thought that's the calibre Sunderland really need. That's a statement of intent, getting a player of that calibre. And I said it at the beginning of the show, we need that calibre up front as a striker and defender. And I do think I can confidently say that I think we'll have a good chance. Maybe it's more than just survive. We might need to we could prove a point and prove a lot of people wrong. But like I say, I trust the hierarchy. Like I say, they've got us into the Premier League. Am I panicking? No. I do believe they'll get what we're after because they know. Trust the process. We're in the Premier League. They're doing something right, for goodness sake. So I do think we'll hear something very soon. Paul Stratton says, Cabby, we're not signing anyone. We'll be okay, but nowhere near top 6 this year. Virtually the same squad. I don't know. I mean, if you played the way you did last season, you were a hard team to beat, especially the last quarter of the season. Dougie Stewart, the moderator, says, sorry, Rob. He says, welcome to the team, by the way.
Thanks, Dougie.
And somebody, who was it that says... David Graham says, R.I.P. James Whale, a broadcasting legend in TV and radio who died today at the age of 74 of cancer. R.I.P. Big man. I used to love watching the James Whale late night show on ITV. He was great to watch. Really, really good. Friendlies don't count for toffee, says Gary Hoyle. David Graham says Birmingham v Ipswich is the first live championship game live on Sky this Friday night. So you got Birmingham who's just come up and Ipswich that's just got relegated. And
must be the sad day.
And it's nice to see Kev's joined us with Rob. Can you see Kev there, Dave?
No, I can't see Kev.
No, it's his dog.
Oh,
Oh yeah, he's just disappeared back under the desk again.
What's your dog's name?
The dog is called Bounty,
Bounty.
as in chocolate covered coconut.
Have you got another dog called Hunter then?
Well, no, we've always had a chocolatey theme, Stuart. Our first Old
Right.
English sheepdog was called Rolo. Our second was called Buttons. So we thought we've got to keep the chocolate names going. So we opted for Bounty for this one. So we've had Old English sheepdogs for best part of 30 years now. So
They don't molt them dogs, do they? Do you have to get them clipped? Is that right?
we don't clip them. We just brush him.
Right.
So trim his feet and trim round his bits, shall we say? So there's no mats. But generally it's just brushed out. But you're right, they don't molt as such. But the hair can snap and it just lies on the surface. So, you can still wear a suit and go to work when you've got an Old English sheepdog because you don't get covered in Old English sheepdog.
I used to be able to trim my bits until me guts hanging out. Anyway, that's a different subject, isn't it?
well, cheers for that, mate.
Just
You know what I
don't want to
mean?
put you off your lunch on that one or anything like that.
TMI.
Jeez.
TMI.
So then we've
Oh.
got two friendlies left, I believe it or not. I mean, do you think you'll keep virtually the same team as what he played against Real Betis? And people are wanting to find out as well what's happening. Catch you later, Paul Stratton, mate. Good to see you. You take it easy, mate. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, good news on the manager signing a new contract. What's happening? Anybody know what's happening with Wilson Isidore? Because I would like to see him get some game time with these last two friendlies. Like, is it what is he carrying? Is he carrying some sort of injury?
I think it was a thigh strain, was it not?
Aye, yeah. These two friendlies, though, Cabby, right? There's a game on Saturday at 2:00 against Augsburg,
Mhm.
and that's away from home. And so what they're doing is, because we're playing on Sunday as well at 4:30 against that Rio Vallecano, whatever you call them, they're taking a different team out. So they're having two teams. So I think they're taking sort of like the fringe players, the young players, to the away friendly game, and then keeping obviously the first team for Sunday. So theoretically now we've only got one game left for the first team.
Yeah.
I thought they would play midweek and then come back and then play Sunday again, but they're not doing that.
Obviously, they'll be able to watch both the games, though, no doubt, I would say.
Oh yeah, but I thought there was two friendlies, and there's not. There's just basically the one for the first team, and that's it. Because I don't know who they'll be taking on the Saturday. I'm guessing it's just the youngsters. Like the other players that haven't been in the first team, maybe like Dan Neil, maybe, I don't know. But I know that Romain Mundell as well, he's out until about the end of September.
Yeah.
So we're going to be relying on getting Wilson Isidore back for cover on that left-hand side for a drinker. Because if we get this lad over the line from Chelsea, it means we've got cover at strike, obviously now for Meander. But we're going to need cover on that left-hand side, so we need to get Wilson Isidore back. Who else will be out injured as well? There's somebody else. Is it Dennis Serkin? Jensen Seal's injured. That's why he wasn't playing on Saturday. He picked up an injury in training. Don't know about Dennis Serkin. Luke O'Neill, I think he's away for another month as well, maybe. So...
How well,
I don't know.
lads, says Blaze from TikTok. It's how's your nerves holding up then? I mean, how are you lot feeling as the season's reeling in? It's reeling in quick, isn't it? What's your deepest thoughts with Sunderland at the minute? Do you think that we've got a good chance? Or, I mean, do you think they're going to get murdered, or are you dreading it? I mean, before this transfer window started, I was thinking like, oh my God, but I am a bit more optimistic with what I've seen we've brought in.
I don't think we'll finish in the bottom three. We might finish in the bottom four, but I don't think it'll be the bottom three.
I mean, that's how mad it is, how much we've spent and we can still only scrape above the bottom 3. It's like, crikey, how much do you have to invest to just compete with the bottom half? It's crazy.
Yeah. I'd like to think we could finish mid-table, but I'm not convinced we will. But I'll be quite happy with a 17th place finish, to be honest.
I mean, it's mad when you look at last season in the Premier League, how bad Spurs and Man United were, but there were still 27 points or so ahead of the bottom 3, and that was a 4th place team. That's the gulf. That is the gulf, isn't it? But it was exceptional though, because the bottom 3 that season were exceptionally bad. There was no competition at all, was there?
No, and it does show the gulf that exists between the Championship and the Premier League. I mean, most of the teams that have got promoted over the last 4 years have come straight back down again. So there's not many exceptions.
Steve Taylor says, so who's your 3 to go down, Rob? Rich, you want to answer that as well? Who would you say?
Wolves.
Wolves?
I think will struggle. Burnley. And West Ham.
You think Burnley will be down there with their superior defence record? Well, they were in the Championship.
They haven't got a goalie now, have they?
But you, Rich, who do you fancy? Who do you think will... you can say Sunderland, if you want, just because you're a Sunderland fan.
No, exactly the same as Rob. Exactly the same. I think Wolves are going to definitely struggle next season. I don't think West Ham have brought anybody in. I think they're going to have a tough time because they did last season, and I just don't think Burnley's got enough. Unfortunately, I just don't. But what I was going to say is, as long as we make the stadium a horrible place for teams to come to, and make it a fortress next season, we've got a chance of staying up.
Yeah.
We need to have a go at these teams at home. Just have a go at them. You know what I mean? Put the pressure on them. Be clever at the same time, but we must make our home ground, a fortress somewhere, where we can intimidate teams like we used to. But yeah, same as Rob. I think even if we get 4th bottom or lower table, I think that'll be an absolutely fantastic, first season back.
Yep. There was something in the Sunderland Echo earlier I was reading about potential expansion of the ground as well.
I've heard that.
Yeah, sticking an extra tier on one of the stands, which of course the ground is designed so you can do that.
Yeah, it's like a Meccano structure. That's how it's designed. They just lift the top section up and then just bolt a section on top of it. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the plans of the stadium if they become a well-established side. But it would look nice, wouldn't it? I mean, I think am I right in saying it was possibly going to be the Roker end, or maybe he's looking at putting that Premier Concourse up there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the talk was that they're looking to increase the capacity to 55,000.
Well, Leeds are doing it, and there's no reason why Sunderland can't. I mean, the Roker end. I mean, that's supposed to be our wall, isn't it? That's what they're trying to go for, where all the flags and the singing goes and that. So 2 tiers or 3 tiers of that, so all doing that will be quite good. But I mean. There's still a lot of fans, especially from last season, we're seeing the atmosphere at home can be pretty dire compared to the away games. But then again, when you look at that game against Coventry, it just blows everything. You just want that spark to ignite something, don't you? If Sunderland put on a performance, put on a show, there's no louder stadium in the Premier League. And I ain't just being biased either. There's still loads of Sunderland fans say that night against Coventry was still better when Ballard scored. It was a better atmosphere than was when Watson got the winner at Wembley. It's hard to believe that, isn't it? Yeah. When you think of it, he says, I think it was just the tension and the way it was at the Stadium of Light. It was just it was a horrible feeling, wasn't it? With 40 seconds left to go, we all knew penalties was coming, and I think deep down inside, Sunderland fans were dreading penalties because we've been absolutely bloody awful at penalties, and we all just thought there's only one outcome here when it came to penalties. And I just think it was a massive release of frustration when Ballard got that, because not only did he score, and that was the winner, because they knew when that goal got in, there wasn't time virtually for Coventry to kick off. And of course, when Watson got that winner at Wembley, there was still about seven or 8 minutes still to play. But I've never seen the stadium like react like that, and I've seen some quality goals there as well, like the Defoes, and but that's going to take some beating, isn't it? What did you think of our goalkeeper, lads?
Ruth, whatever he's called. Yeah, he seems like a good, safe pair of hands. Good, same distribution, seems better than Pato. He commands his box a little bit better than Pato did. I know Pato's a good shot stopper. And without Pato, we wouldn't have won the playoff final. There was two absolute certainties that he managed to stop. And that first one was an absolute worldie, wasn't it?
Oh God, aye.
So, but yeah, he's well thought of, this young lad. Future Dutch goalkeeper, I think, or Belgian, one of the two.
He's Dutch, right? Under 21 keeper for the Dutch, isn't he? He played in the tournament.
Yeah,
he is good with his feet as well. Like, he is good passing. He's a good passer out of the ball. See how he plays in the next game as well. But it is looking promising with him. Like,
yeah, his distribution. He's more of a continental style goalkeeper. The way he's good with his feet. He can dribble, basically. And unlike you British goalkeepers, which tend to get the ball and welly it up the field, he's quite happy to play about with the ball at his feet and even tackle people and take people on. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
yeah.
Blaze on TikTok says, I'm there Sunday against Rio Valenciano and there West Ham. He's a season card holder. And he also says, I've heard we're after Siko Nakati. That's a nightmare trying to pronounce these names. Can we not go after a player like Bert Postlethwaite or something, or John Smith, somewhat easy to pronounce? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just have a whole team of John Smiths.
It's like, some of these names, it's like it's going to be a nightmare for some of these commentators. He reckons Brentford, Wolves, and Burnley will go down. Steve James, hello Steve James, man, you all right? Good to see you. He says, you're excited about Jacka? He says, oh God, aye. And the roof was on fire, and already the fans have adopted him by singing his name like a like this, the Hume every time he gets the ball. So it doesn't take much for the Sunderland fans to jump on board, does it? Right, just going to catch up on just checking that all the streams are working fine, and they are. So, Kingfisher says, just think how loud the roar will be with a full-size stadium. Oh, it'll be incredible. I've seen any messages I've missed out. My apologies if I have. There's just that many to try and go through. I'm not being ignorant if I've missed anyone out. Kev says he was waiting 15 minutes to come on. The old link wouldn't work. I don't know why. That's I don't know. That's technology for you, but I'll have to look into that one. That's why I do like to try and get everybody on. Do a little test, 15 minutes or so before the show, just to make sure there's no problems. Were you going to say something there, Rob?
Yeah, strangely, the link join the meeting now just wouldn't work for me.
Right.
But if you click on join in browser, that worked. That's how I go in.
Right.
So it might be worth Kev trying that.
Join in browser. Right. I mean,
yeah,
like I say, I'm not on that receiving end. I'm the one sending out the links to people. I mean, Richie, did you have any problems getting in?
No. It's just no. Never normally have problems with the links.
Oh, wait, Kev, man.
It might just be the same.
What you doing, Kev? Come on, eh? You left again in the naughty corner after this. What you doing?
There's always one, isn't there?
There's always one, isn't there? I mean, Davey had the same problem when he was on. He was like,
he hasn't got any connections and he's not connected, like Reggie Livery says. The amount of times he's connected and connected this and connected that. Kev loves that, you know.
Well, with the exception of Wembley, guys, what's the biggest crowd you've been in for a Sunderland game?
Ooh. Well, home or away?
At home. At home.
It would have been full capacity for me when we played Chelsea. It was the end of the Premier League season. I can't remember whether we beat them or we got beat off them and we stayed up. It was one of the two, but that was the biggest and the best I remember.
Yeah, that was under Gus Poyet, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. We stayed up.
We beat them 3-2. Yeah.
There you go.
I think mine was at Joker Park. And it was Luton Town in an FA Cup quarter-final, I think it was. There was 64,000 people in Roker Park.
Jeez.
It was sardines. My seat was in the clock stand, and you could not move in the stands because, of course, we still had standing in those days. Fulwell End was absolutely jam-packed. Roker End was jam-packed.
Mental sound. Hopefully, I've sorted the sound out, Steve. This is the first time I've really gone on TikTok live, so there'll be a few teething problems until I get used to it and stuff. But yeah, that Roker Park, that just looked mental. That big Roker End, doesn't it? John Nesbitt says 54,000. Yeah. There's no reason why we can't fill it. Blaze says on TikTok, Dan Neil has to be loaned out or sold, and the Pato situation needs sorted. Would you loan or sell Serkin as Ronaldo looks to have the position nailed down? So what do you guys think about that then? I mean, Dan Neil, do you think he's going to cut it in the Premier League? We'll start with Dan Neil.
He's a young lad.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably not Premier League standard now, but if he stays, he'll only get better. And he's not a bad player. Sometimes he seems to lose concentration, but he's not a bad player. Pato, it depends on whether he's prepared to play either second or joint top fiddle with Roofs, or whether Roofs is prepared to play second fiddle to Pato. They're both good keepers. It just depends on who Regis decides he wants to trust. And I mean, I know last season we were pulling our hair out about some of Pato's goalkeeping at times, but yeah, at the end of the day, we wouldn't have got into the Premier League without him. Those two saves were superb. So we'll see.
Absolutely. I've said that a few times about Pato, haven't I? With Wembley, with them saves, that was just quality, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What do you reckon about Neil and Richie?
Well, I've slated him for a couple of weeks now, but I still stick by what I said. I just think he'll be a good squad player if he stays, and I think we'll need him, especially for when these AFCON comes around. We'll need players to fill in. But it's up to him. I've seen rumours that he's not signing a new contract. The club's offering him a new contract. He doesn't want to sign it. I don't know how true that rumour is. Don't know whether he's taking like I said last week, maybe he's taking a bit of a morale decline with him, saying Jack come in. He knows that the captaincy's going to be stripped from him as well. So I don't know with Dan Neil. I don't know what will be best for him, and I don't know what will be best for us, because we're going to need cover for injuries, and who better to have than Dan Neil, who knows the club better than anyone. But if he's going to turn into be unhappy at the club, there's no point in keeping him. Get him out on loan to get more experience, like Rob said. And that goes the same for Chris Rigg. Chris Rigg's exactly the same. He's either going to have to stay at the club, fight for his place, the same as what Dan Neil would, or again, he's going to have to be loaned out. But we need cover for when the AFCON comes. So it's a bit of a tricky situation, like. But with Pato, I still stand by what I said, and I still think he deserves a chance to be the number one. And maybe that's why he's brought this other goalkeeper in to say, look, mate, you know, you only get one chance at this. You make a mistake, you get taken out, and that's what happens. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I won't mention on here, but there's a few horrible rumours going around about Anthony Patterson at the minute, and I don't want to say it on here, but I just genuinely hope that is not true, and I hope it's just somebody making these things up like they normally do online. But when they make up serious things like that, you've got to think, how you know what I mean? He's surely not. But there's all sorts of questions around these types of players at the minute. I think, you know, Regis is going to have to make his mind up sooner or later. Like,
yeah, I think maybe he's a half-season loans for Rigg and Neil. Loan them out until Christmas. Bring them back in January when we're going to lose half the team to AFCON.
That was a good shout.
That's a good idea.
Swervest74 on TikTok says, will it be the Championship show next season? Well, why no, man, it's the Premier League show next season. The season hasn't started yet. We're still in next season, it's the Premier League. Hey, the season after you run about, it could be the Champions League show. You didn't know, do you? When anybody thought Leicester City would win the league that year, did they? I mean, honestly, how can that happen?
Especially as they'd seriously struggled the season before. In fact, they were virtually they were one of the favourites for relegation that year.
John Nesbitt in our chat says Dan Neil couldn't lace a Jacka's boots. Simple as that. Gary says Pato is far too quiet for a keeper, especially in the Premier League. He doesn't command enough. Maureen says we're going to need a cover for the African nations. Tony Huntington says Dan Neil will improve and may be good enough, but no new contract. He reckons it must sell. Ian Brown says Speakman needs to ask Neil sign a contract or go sooner the better. The Palmer's Mackham, welcome along. It says if Neil is not willing to sign a contract, we have to get rid of him for the money. Yes, Dougie Stewart's just said, so thanks very much for the 23,000 likes on TikTok. 23,000 likes on TikTok. That is just nuts. Luis on TikTok said, thoughts on Talby. The beginning of the show we talked about Talby. He's still gelling. I mean, they've signed him for a reason. He's just warming up. Time will tell on him. But he had a decent game. We all thought against Real Betis. It wasn't too bad against decent opposition as well. It's all go. Ronaldo looks class. He's so solid. Jordan Air on TikTok says went on Saturday, lads. As of now, we will struggle going forward. We don't create much. That's all down to we must get an experienced striker. This was talked about at the beginning of the show as well. And I am confident we will get that experienced striker in. I think that young lad, Guy, I think he's mostly sort of a backup as well. They're not going to use him as an experienced striker. It's just not going to happen. So either whether it'll be a loan or a proper signing, time will tell. But I do think this week will, dare I say it, think we will get this experienced striker we're after. If we're thinking it, then the owners are definitely going to be, or whoever is in charge is definitely going to be looking at it. You certainly can't complain. You what, mate?
We need that centre half as well, Stu. We'll have to. It's just as important as getting the striker in as well, isn't it?
Both, yeah. You can't win
yeah.
games without letting goals in. You can't win games without scoring goals. So both have got to be sorted out.
Yeah.
You know, I thought their goal was it was an easy goal for them. He was a bit unmarked at Real Betis. It was a cracking header, mind, right in the top corner. Keeper need chance, but he was practically unmarked, wasn't he? But like I say, you've got to put your trust in the hierarchy. Look where we are. I can't see them not basically doing what they're doing. They wouldn't be doing all this preparation, and they'll know what they're doing. You know, they will not start this season without an experienced striker. Jordan Ayre says, do you think Isidore will be cover on the wing with Mundle on the sidelines? Could possibly be. Mundle, of course, is recovering from his. Has he had an operation on his hamstring or something? Has he? Something along the lads.
Yeah.
Blaze says that lad from Real Madrid as a striker, I wouldn't mind, or a Vardy kind of player. Harvey Yellis says, get Beard or Diakite in a good striker and another winger. How would you pronounce that? Diakite. What?
Diakite.
Diakite.
Yeah.
Diakite. People laugh at my
Is he
pronunciation.
Ivory Coasting, is he? Ivory Coasting forward, Diakite?
Yeah, we don't need another African player.
Yeah. Aye, yeah.
Yeah, Blaze has also said Bienda is a big gamble, and Isidore. Yeah, we all know that. I mean, but look, with Isidore, he's capable of finishing from impossible situations. I mean, look at that quality goal he scored at Ellen Road, that cracker he scored against Coventry. He's got it in him. He's got it in his locker to do some quality finishing, and it might suit Isidore. You just didn't know. Isidore's weakness is balls getting played of him into the box. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't got that striker's instinct.
Yeah. He has massive dips in form as well, like I was saying to you earlier. How many games did he go without a goal, though, after Christmas? It was something like, what?
12, I think. 12 to 14 games,
12?
aye.
Yeah. That's the only doubt I've got in my mind about him. If he carried on the way he did before he signed that permanent contract with me, then I would think differently of him. But because he had that dip in form and he frustrated me so much last season, like I cannot trust him. I just don't think he's a striker, in my opinion, anyway.
To be fair, it should have only been about 4 games without a goal, because that goal against Derby, there was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And it was a cracking goal as well.
It was, mind. Son's just left Spurs, says Blaze. I think he'd be wanting away from the Premier League, Son, to be honest with you. I think he'll take a couple of paychecks from the Saudi League. I wouldn't be surprised. They all seem to do that.
Off to LA.
LA. Yeah, it's either Saudi or America, isn't it?
20 million, apparently. LA are paying Tottenham for him.
Hello to Peter Harvey in the YouTube chat. We will be finishing very, very soon. We've run 5 minutes over our time. Honestly, there's that much happening. Peter Harvey says, hi guys, put Triantis in defence, hoping for a good season. SAFC Safe says, aren't we interested in Adil? Are you on about Adil Ashish? Or is there another player you're on about? I don't know. Any news? Are you on about Adil Ashish? Because he's now at Portsmouth, isn't he?
No, he's gone on loan somewhere else now.
Has he gone to God? He moves about, doesn't he?
Aye. It's interesting to see what the crack is with him and Reggie LeBray, because since he's come in, he's kind of like sent him out, but he was one of his ex-players at his former club as well. So there must be something about him that Reggie doesn't like, and he doesn't want him around the group. Like, it's a shame, because I thought he played, when he did play for her, I thought he had a few all right games. You know, he looked a bit of a threat. But if a manager says that, unfortunately they're gone. Like,
John Nesbitt says Aberdeen. He's off to Aberdeen, I think.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Right.
There we go. Right, we'll end the stream there. I don't know what's happened with Kev. I'll have a catch up with him in there. Like I say, it's difficult from my end. I don't know what gets sent at your end or whatnot, but
His nana's got him curry rice and chips, I bet. And I bet he's come into that.
Oh, yeah, no. I wasn't ignoring the poor lad after sitting there 15 minutes because it's been foolproof. Usually I just send the link out and they just click it and you just join in. I'll have a crack on them later to see what the problem was. Yeah. But Rob, you enjoyed it your first time on the Monday show?
Definitely. Good crack.
See you next Monday.
Yep, I'll be there, mate.
Richie, you enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, brilliant and welcome. Like I said, Rob, brilliant,
thanks,
mate.
Richie.
Good crack with you, mate.
He's a good addition, isn't he? He's not done his medical. He's not done his medical yet, so we've not signed him yet. So
it's all right. I've only got a broken back. Don't worry.
Broken back.
Just take me on loan.
Thanks to everybody who's watching on TikTok as well. Thanks for the 27,000 likes as well. That just sounds mental, doesn't it? Seeing that 27,000 likes, that's crazy. And everybody in YouTube as well. Trisha, thanks for your help, and Dougie on the moderators as well, and everybody who's joined in tonight. He's got much planned tonight, lads, before we go?
Dog out for a quick walk and then probably go to bed.
John Nesbitt just says, what's Bounty doing tonight? What's his plans?
He's probably going out for a walk with me, and then he'll be telling me it's bedtime.
Does he take you for a walk, or do you take Bounty for a walk then?
It depends. Most of the time, it's me following a large dog.
You're welcome, Bong. Achievement. You doing much, Rich? You chilling?
Just chilling out, mate. Yeah, just relaxing. I've started watching The Walking Dead again, so I'm just working my way through the seasons now. So I'll probably watch a couple of them and go.
I've been watching some of the highlights of Newcastle games, like.
Yeah, that's what it's like up there with The Walking Dead, isn't it? Aye. But aye. Are you getting your pizza like Stu? Are you liver and onions?
I had my liver and onion pizza on Friday. Our pizza night's on a Friday night. But I do.
Pizza.
Everybody laughs at my liver and onion pizza.
Yeah, I can't abide liver, Stu. I can't abide the stuff.
Full of iron. But anyway, I'll end the stream now. Thanks, lads. I've appreciated. Great job. And we'll see you through the week, no doubt, on the channel. And we'll catch you next Monday. Thanks a lot, Richie. Good to see you. Cheers to you, Rob, as well.
Cheers, Stuart.
See you later.
Richie.
Cheers.